In the Badlands of southern Utah, a unique group of insanely talented dirt bike riders gathered again to contest a motocross freeride competition in the purest form of the sport. Before there was freestyle, there was freeride Moto X. Before the stadiums, arenas, and man-made ramps, there was natural terrain, the glory days of FMX. Riding free in the hills with the boys, and trying to one-up your buddy for bragging rights among friends. Today, moto freeriding is one of the toughest sports around. It requires a true natural talent, total commitment, and the balls to put yourself in a sure death situation, confidently knowing that you will survive. FMX Riot began in the deserts of Southern California. Now, a year later, it continues at a place the locals call Swing Arm City. Riot is a natural terrain freeride contest, the only one of its kind. No ramps, no rules, no bulldozers. The greatest moto freeriders of today competing in an endless arena of desert with only their bike, their skills, and a creative mind. Judging of this contest would be done by the competitors themselves, making it a true forum of free expression. You ride, you judge, you hope to win. Out here, the only thing that will truly defeat you is the desert itself. Nine of the most uniquely talented riders of this era were handpicked to take part in the adventure. The Godfather, Mike Metzger, possibly the best ever. Dustin Miller, one of the most technical riders in the sport. Mr. Style with extension, Drake McElroy. A crazy lunatic from the Metal Militia, Todd Potter. Mike Mason, emerging as a major competitive force. Fashion plate Matt Rabeau from Switzerland. He took the silver medal at Winter X06. And two young guns, Brian Bubs Foster and 19-year-old Miles Richmond. And representing the dark side, veteran and freestyle pioneer Lord Larry Linkogel, the winner of the infamous Moto Survival Tour. The adventure began on a Monday morning in Carson City, Nevada.
Miles! Yeah, this is my place that I split in half with my parents. Nice driveway, you know. We got good little track in the backyard. It's kind of sandy, kind of like a Southwick National, if you will, for the pit bikes, but only when it's wet. And now we are leaving this place, getting in our temporary home, and going to ride some natural terrain. I'm taking people down. That's cool.
Swing Arm City is actually a speck on the map called Caneville, Utah.
Caneville is sort of like being on another planet.
I would say it's like the moon.
I think the way the water runoff is kind of creates these natural canyons that are going up the hills.
This place will like inspire you. It'll kind of scare the shit out of you sometimes. It just has everything.
Picking up Brian Foster. I can hear him playing his drums instead of loading up like a meathead.
Hey, Todd. Yeah, what? Heck, everyone wants a copy.
Leaving Foster's house. Should be arriving in Caneville in about 12 hours, roughly. Sleep, ride. Can't pet the dog, he's out of here. See you guys. See you guys. And that's all she wrote. Let's hit it, boys.
In this show, you probably won't see a whole lot of tricks, but if you really appreciate riding the way these guys do it, you're gonna love it, because a lot of technical hits. Some of it's not big, some of it's not huge, but I guarantee you can't do it, you know, unless you're a pro, unless you have skills. And that's kind of the idea behind Riot, is to show those skills, not just ramp tricks. We came to Canesville basically because we want the best for these riders. We want to showcase their skills, and we also want to see different areas of the country, you know. We want a little bit different. This is kind of the moon in places. I mean, kind of looks like the moon, but there's hits and stuff everywhere. Your imagination is the only thing that's stopping you out here.
We are in Caneville, Utah, which is pretty much nowhere. You can't say it's close to any city, you know. It's a little ways from Denver, a little ways from Salt Lake, long ways from Carson City.
Caneville, Utah is basically the sickest riding in the world.
There's nothing here. You pretty much better bring all your belongings, because you're screwed if you don't have everything. And that's the glory of it.
It's all about just coming out here and riding. You know, this is what it's all about. This is the roots of where freestyle motocross came from. And you know what? That's basically the reason I'm out here, is to ride the sickest train.
Riot number 2, Caneville. Just want to go over a couple of things on format so nobody gets lost. The idea of this thing is we go out, you ride, you find the natural hits, you have a good time. If you need to work on something with a shovel for a little while, that's cool. We'll just break and work it all out. But the key thing is go out and find the hits, do whatever it is you do out there on those hits. At the end of the day, we'll come back here, give the guys about 20 minutes once we get back to camp, and then they'll have the monitors ready to go with the tapes from the day, so you can go in small groups, take a look at what's gone on, request certain things from them. If there's a jump you want to look at or a trick you want to look at, you're going to look at that, and then after everybody's pretty happy with what they've seen and knows what's happened in the day, we're going to pull everyone into a group. We're going to start the judging process. And remember, you're the judges, you're not just the riders. You got 2 jobs here. So judge yourselves, it's all peer judged, and as soon as the judging is finished, about 10 minutes later, we'll let you know what the standings are each day. You're trying to show the best of what you can do, you know, both to the group here that's going to judge for the actual competition part of this, but also because it's going to look great, it's on HD TV, so let's do it up, number 2, hop on the bikes and we'll head out of here probably in about the next 10 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
After a long day of travel, the crew was amped to get on their bikes and explore the amazing new surroundings here at Caneville. So we set out as a group, and the first session of Riot Take 2 was quickly underway.
This thing's like it's like kind of like jumping like a supercross triple. You kind of got to land right in the right spot, but fairly easy. Something to warm up on. No, actually it was kind of hard. I was scared the whole time, but
it's pretty gnarly. You really don't have much room for air. If you case it, you're gonna kind of buck off down the hill, and if you go long, you're jumping into another hill. So it was pretty crazy. You know, it was cool to see all these guys hit it. You know, I got to watch. I saw every angle of it. Liked it. The jump this way that we're gonna go to, it's pretty much, it's almost like a supercross double or something. It's perfect, like steep on both, you know, lip and landing, pretty good canyon between. Kind of come out of a turn, drop into a ditch, there's a little step up to it. And it's just kind of a little technical double, a little second gear jump. Super fun. We just sessioned a pretty good little double. We even added in a little nose wheelie tabletop right before it. This jump's awesome. I like it a lot, and now we're gonna go grab some lunch, wash our faces, wash our goggles, and then try to find more jumps. Drake, what's the verdict? What's your take on today so far?
It's fun so far. We're on all the jumps I like to hit. I like this one.
Yeah.
I like that one Miller kind of. This one doesn't go my way, but it's super fun.
Metzger's like the guy that I kind of looked up to before I got into freestyle. I just always thought he was cool. Like, he kind of did his own thing and made up tricks. Like, he was basically doing tricks and trying to learn new tricks when no one really even had thought about doing freestyle. Like, there's a lot of guys that free rode and could do stuff like that, but he was kind of the one who started doing different types of tricks, taking them from BMX. So that was a pretty big influence on me. He's pretty talented in the fact that he can find any type of jump and like throw down off of it. Like, he can whip it huge on any type of jump, which is something I'd definitely like to learn how to do.
That is seriously a fun f***ing jump, dude.
What are you hitting it in?
Third.
Third? Yeah, me too. Just trying to wrap out third.
The second wrapped, and then third just barely.
You could go an extra 20 feet.
Yeah, I'm scared of landing in the soft stuff.
Shoot. Well, let's go, Merritt. Let's go find some new fun stuff that no one's really, like, destroyed.
That hasn't been hit for the past 7 years.
Ooh, we could cut to the inside and make a new whip off this jump.
Ooh, no way.
Let's come up the inside and hit this jump some more. More, no, to the right. Right here. Hey, make sure it's clear. Please. That jump's sick. You just climbing a hill and you just pop off and like just dropping down.
Flying.
Yeah.
Like
So fun. That jump's fun, dude. That new line's good.
Yeah, I damn near went too far.
You went far.
Those are like the funnest ones to hit sometimes, because especially the first time you hit it, it surprises you so much. Because you're just climbing this hill forever. All you can see is the top of the hill. And you're just like, all right, I'm keeping the gas on. And then once you get over the top, like you only jump like maybe 15 feet of hill and then it just drops down. And like the hill you're landing on is super steep, and like from flat ground, everyone looks like this big. So you're just like, oh. It's a good feeling.
I couldn't lay it as flat as that time.
That was good.
The rut's kind of bending to the left.
Yeah.
So it's like my back end drops in further than I want, and then it rebounds it. Woo!
I don't know what happened. I got bucked and had to throw her away. Smacked the nuts.
It looked like you just right off the lip lost balance and decided not to go with the bike.
Yeah.
Instead of getting up on top of it, like right off the lip, you're like, whoa! The bike kind of went to your right shoulder, and instead of just like climbing up on it, you're like, oh man, that's not what I wanted to do.
Works for me. It's soft over there.
As the afternoon wore long, the riders began to tire, and the pace of competition began to slow down. The average freestyle run lasts about 2 minutes. We had been riding for over 4 hours up to this point when Larry Linkoggle came across this strange kinked dirt feature. He broke out his shovel and began exploring the possibility of creating a dirt bike vert ramp.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, no. I don't want to do it either. I want to jump right to that thing.
Hey, that was bad.
Larry found this cool little like quarter pipe looking thing almost. It's like the closest thing you get to a quarter pipe on a bike. That one wasn't so good for me.
Yeah, well, as you can see, Larry had 100% commitment up that lip, and Drake didn't. Did you get Drake? Yeah, no commitment for Drake, and that's why he crashed. And that's why I don't want to do it, because I'm not committing. Whoa. Drake, make it a little worse on yourself. Yeah.
You bet I can ride my dirt bike?
How you feeling, Drake?
Good. Good job.
All right, the first day is over with. We've got the videos in here for you to take a look at now that everybody's had dinner. Check out the pieces of video you want so you can hopefully give everyone the judging that they deserve. And what we're going to do, once you've looked at this on the monitors and you're satisfied that you know what happened today, we'll move over to giving you the judging sheets. You judge on the 8 riders, 1 through 8 that you thought did the best today. Then we'll gather around the lovely campfire and we'll give you the results of the day.
There was a couple jumps that I really liked out here. One of them was you kind of had to go up a hill, like a huge hill, like I don't know, it's kind of like a hill climb almost, and then you just pop off the top and you just drop all the way down like the other side. And that was probably one of my favorites. The deal with the links jump is, like when you're looking at the lip from the bottom, it looks like a half pipe, you know, for a skateboarder. But the line is like only like a foot wide, and it's like vert at the top, and then the landing is like the same. It was pretty crazy. You can take my word for it.
I found 2 jumps that were pretty cool that kind of resembled the same style, resembled each other, and what it was like big left-hand tabletop. One of them was probably good 90 foot long. The other one, not as big, but still kind of a left-hand caddy kicker up over this tabletop. No one else did it.
Okay, we put the results into an expensive supercomputer. 9th place out of today, because he went to the doctors, Todd Potter. Sitting in 8th right now, Matt Ribot. 7th, back in competition, Larry Linkgoggle. 6th, Mr. Brian Foster. 5th is Drake McElroy. 4th, Mike Metzger. A tie for 2nd between Miles Richmond and Mike Mason, which means leading going into day 2 would be none other than Dustin Miller. So let's try and have a whole lot of fun tomorrow, and hopefully everyone's healthy and good day of riding.
Everyone's kind of sore, I think, but you know, you start riding, get competitive again, and it goes away.
Hi, I'm Mike Metzger. I am the defending FMX Riot champion.
Mike Metzger is the original moto freerider and the defending FMX Riot champion. Metz was a major player in the transformation from free ride to freestyle, and he went on to dominate the freestyle world for years. Throughout his successful career, he has proven to be one of the most naturally talented riders of all time.
Pretty cool to be invited back to FMX Riot, take 2.
Day 2 of competition began with a morning ride dominated by Mike Metzger. He put on a show of true moto freeriding and served notice to the other riders that he was the man to beat.
I'm not necessarily like, oh yeah, I gotta go hit that jump, the same exact one that everyone else is hitting. I'm gonna try to save my body and try to, you know, find some jumps that no one else is hitting or that no one else has even thought of out here.
Mike Metzger, he's a pretty up and down dude. Like, that guy's like always full of surprises. Like, he can ride anything on a bike, and like one day he's like doing supermoto, the next day he's like full freestyle, then he wants to ride the nationals, and like it's kind of cool. He can just, you know, stick to whatever he wants to do and just go for it. Because like no matter what, like once you get Mike on a bike, he just has fun riding. He's really cool to ride with in a place like this. He's got a good eye for everything because he's been riding for so long, and he can do a lot of different stuff on a bike, so he's really fun to follow around out here.
Pretty fun place to ride. Gets a little cold, a little bit different than anywhere else that we usually ride. A lot of cliff jumps and little caddies like across the hills. A lot of cliffs that just kind of fall away. You gotta be real careful when you're riding. Heading over to a riding area, you come up over a hill that you think might, you know, just be a normal hill, and it's got like a 20-foot drop right off the other side, so. Last year I killed it at Glamis and Akatia Wells. Twitch and I were both the kind of guys that, you know, when we ride together, we want to be the guy. Twitch is always pushing it. Twitch can do some things that I can't always do, and I can do some things that Twitch can't always do. You know, it came down to a really good contest because we were pushing each other, and kind of everyone else just sat around and was like, okay, are they gonna flip? And of course, Twitch is like, yeah, I'm gonna flip that one right here by camp. And then the pressure was on. It's like, okay, well, shoot, he just pretty much won. If I don't step up and try to at least, you know, flip what he flipped, then okay, then I'm gonna be behind. So it was the first time flipping my 450, and everything worked out. And before I called it a night that day, I ended up flipping in the dark, just used someone's headlights from the truck, and well, see what happens. I'm getting tired, let's call it a night. Did another backflip and called it a night. I'm the only one on 450 Honda CRF 4-stroke. Again, I was the only one last year. I want to go up above that whole hole. Yeah, right? So it's a little bit tighter tranny, but steeper. I know I'm just getting used to the way a 450 works. I really like the power of it. It's good, it suits my style. It's like just tractoring around. It kind of makes it effortless at times, especially when you got a jump that, you know, it's like, okay, I can jump a little bit further than this guy. Got the 450, just up. Sometimes I have a problem controlling the 450 throttle though, because I'm like an addict, you know, I just can't let go sometimes. Like, oh, I need an extra twist. Oh. So it's fun. That's why I ride the 450, because it's a lot of fun. Cool bike.
As a veteran, Metzger continues to be an innovator in the sport. Today, while the other competitors were watching from the sidelines, Metzger was quietly pioneering the next step in the evolution of FMX, 4-stroke power. 2 strokes are soon to be a thing of the past, and the standard issue 250cc bike will be replaced by a more advanced, powerful 4-stroke engine. Metzger is the first freestyler to discover this new technology and adapt it to freestyle motocross. He has always been, and continues to be, ahead of the game. After watching a dominating performance by Mike Metzger in the morning, the crew headed out for an afternoon ride, and it seemed everyone wanted to click it up a couple of gears and hit something big.
Today you'll see like a lot of more like big jumps. They're like more basic. Like yesterday we kind of took a lot of like, you know, climb the hill, hip down into the canyon kind of stuff. Like it's more technical and you have to time it. This stuff, like you still have to time it, and some of it's pretty scary, but it's a lot of like, you know, put your bike in number 4 and go for it.
The first jump we came across was this 4th gear gap, measuring about 120 feet in distance. Everyone on the crew tried the jump and cleared it easily, so it soon turned into a freestyle trick show. Todd Potter and the European FMX champion Matt Roubaud seemed to bust the biggest.
Yeah, the jump, it's so big, and It's very cool. I am surprised I can make the tricks and these jumps. I don't know how long it's, but maybe 100 feet or I don't know, but it's very cool. And I look Todd Potter jumps the first. I look this and oh, so cool. And after I go back and I jump and it's cool. I am a freestyle pro rider, and this is very cool, but I don't ride for the money, you know, and I ride in Europe, it's cool, and I come in the US, but for me the US is very expensive, but it's a very good experience, and I learn English, and that's for me it's very funny.
Todd Potter, Temecula, California, and I'm 21 years old. Like everybody bags on me because they say I do like too much, you know, just like, they're like, jump the jump, dude. You don't gotta do tricks over it, but I got into freestyle because I like doing tricks, and I like after I jump the jump, I like seeing what I can do over the jump, so I don't care, they can ride their style, and I like doing tricks, so whatever. If you don't do tricks, then fine. If I do tricks, then cool.
The crew continued the afternoon with the theme of going big, and next up was this huge fifth gear double. Metzger found the jump, easily over 150 feet, and hit it first. Quickly, everyone sacked up and followed.
That's awesome.
Todd Potter, once again a trick-throwing machine, even in fifth gear.
It takes a lot of nerve to do something that stupid. I'm still shaking from doing it, and every time I'm gassing it at the face, I click fifth, 50 feet before the face, it's like, it's nerve-wracking. I don't know how far that is, but it's at least 120, 30 feet. That was wild.
The difference between a dirt lip and a ramp is the mystery of it, I guess you could say. Like a ramp, they're all pretty close to the same, you know, like pretty much know 70, 75 feet, you know what to do. But you come out here and you're kind of finding something that no one's hit, or even finding something's hit, you know, like shorter lips, there's tall lips, there's like lips with a little kick at the top of them, there's everything, and we never know an exact distance out here. You're just kind of going by like hearing your bike. Did the ski jump over here. I think they got some helicopter shots on that. That's fun. That's fifth gear, as fast as my bike will go up the hill, you know. You get fifth, or you get your bike into fifth gear coming up the hill pretty early, you know, and you pretty much get as much speed as your bike's gonna get. And you just climb the hill, and right when you get to the top, it's not so much a lip or anything, it just kind of rolls off. And it'll go down 100 feet and then probably rolls off again. And as you're coming up, you just get right to that top and you just kind of pull your bike off it. You know, it's not like you're jumping off anything, you just kind of pop your bike off it and you float down the first part and then it drops again, so you're like super high in the air and you just float all the way down.
landing. It feels like you're doing about 200 miles an hour when you land. You know, you're still in 5th gear with all your momentum going down, but that jump's a blast. I hit it every time I come out here. You know, it's just one of those ones I really look forward to.
For me, this is like the real deal. This actually shows real talent.
By late afternoon, we had migrated back for another round at Linkhuggle's infamous moto park. This time, the entire crew was on hand to check out Link's approach to this extremely technical takeoff.
Once you hit a ramp, they're pretty much consistent. To where out here, there's nothing consistent. The lips are always changing, the dirt's always different. You know, there's no measuring tape out here, so you can't go, okay, well, the gap's exactly set at 75 feet. You know, it's got to take a little bit of skill and a little bit of, you know, experience to be able to go out here and hit some of this stuff. There's no safety decks or, you know, hay bales or shit, man. There's not even really hospital close by, man, so. You know, you really got to be on your toes out here, and you know, best of the best, and only the best can really ride this type of stuff, and let alone not just ride it, but compete in it.
After showing total mastery of the unique jump that he created, Lord Link finally crashed and burned, and as a result, his KTM surrendered to defeat, forcing him to exit the competition. The rest of the crew, despite feeling tired and sore from a long day in the desert, continued to explore these majestic badlands as the second day of Riot 2 neared its end.
Dude, your mouth was so open on that last shot.
Slaughterface.
Dude, I jumped in, seriously, he was like right there in the mall. And I see him like he's like looking out, like I see this eye open, holding the camera in his mouth hole. Super cool, dude.
All right, so everybody survived day number 2 of Riot. I don't know who gets the prize for riding the longest, but probably goes to Dustin because you were up earliest in the morning and out there latest at night. Now, you were coming into today as the leader in this competition. Did that put any undue pressure on you?
No, sir.
No?
I can't say that. No, it's not a big deal.
Hey, he got up early because he had to go to the bathroom.
That's why you got up early. These guys weren't giving you a hard time last night?
No.
No?
They're
Cold.
listening to their pillows. They're fine.
Cold as ice. Potter, you dropped out halfway through yesterday and went into town to see the doctor that comes here for 3 hours a week.
Yeah, I had an intense back problem, and then managed to get through it.
Managed to forget that today. And, I mean, you were looking good out there today.
It was still in the back of my mind, though.
How's the back feeling right now?
A little sore, but better than yesterday, for sure.
Yeah? Speaking of hurting this morning, Mike, you said that I could have probably worn your gear for you today and just went out there with the eyeball helmet on. But the funniest thing is when we get out there, you don't even see that. No one would ever know that you hurt, your knee was hurting, your hip was hurting, your foot's hurting. And
No one would ever know because I live that way every day. just get up and deal with the pain.
What motivates you to get up and do that?
Just knowing that we're out here to, you know, get it done, have a good time, ride our bikes, and find some new things that we necessarily haven't ridden before. Just have a good time, that's why we're here.
You did this drill yesterday, you've now got to vote. Remember, you've got 8 spaces on that piece of paper. Don't vote for yourself. The person you thought did the best today overall is your first vote, and so on down through to number 8. You know, just remember, you've seen a lot of video today, you saw people ride. Some people might have stepped up a little more. You know, some people might have surprised you and backed off, you know, and there's tough things that happen. Potter got out of bed and actually started to ride. You know, Larry had bike problems, but, you know, everybody, I think, stepped up. As the votes were cast, it was no surprise that the unanimous winner of the day would be Mike Metzger. After a slow start on day 1, Metz came alive today, throwing down a solid showing of true, old-school freeriding in the beautiful Caneville backcountry, launching himself back into contention. After 2 days of riding in the beautiful Caneville mud hills, Todd Potter's in 9th place. Larry Linkoggle in 8th, Matt Ribot in 7th, a tie for 5th between Brian Foster and Drake McElroy. Miles Richmond is in 4th, Mike Metzger is in 3rd, and there's a tie for 1st between Mike Mason and Dustin Miller. So you guys need to duke it out. And you got to remember, there's a 1-point difference between you two and Mike.
I think Hyde should break it.
Day 3 of Riot 2 got started early. Dustin Miller and Drake McElroy set out on a sunrise reconnaissance mission. The Reno boys were searching for something new and hoping to bag the first shots of the last day here in Caneville. Miller and McElroy returned to camp to find out that Mike Metzger was going to pull out of the competition and leave early. Riding with an injured foot, knee, and back, Metz wisely opted to save his body for another day.
I gotta go home early, actually. The 3rd day I'll be leaving early, heading home to go hang out with the kids, about 800 kids in the local Menifee school district, and doing a little show and talking about, you know, why you shouldn't do drugs, and do a little jump contest. So that's why I got to get going early, but it's cool.
Metzger had come to Caneville to prove that he is still the man to beat. Title or no title, his point was proven. Mike Metzger leaves Riot 2 not as the champion, but as the leader in the realm of moto freeriding, still setting the standard. As Metzger's massive rig hit the interstate, the rest of the crew headed out for a final session to crown the Riot champion. With Mason and Miller tied for 1st, Dustin led the charge.
He's fun to ride with out here. He finds all kinds of stuff. Like probably 80% of the jumps we hit out here, like Dustin found them.
I'm sure we all could go out and do a sea crab Indian air over every jump that we hit yesterday, but that wouldn't look cool. Like that's been done. So I mean, whips have been done, but for some reason they don't get old. They always look good. you know, you just know there's so much to ride on, and it's really hard, and that's one thing that's been hard with the camera guys is usually by the time they're all set up and find the angle of what they want, you know, we're already ready to go to the next jump. So that's hard. I guess you could say it's ADD, you know, like just getting so excited. Because, I mean, you sit right here, you're hitting a jump, and then you look over and there's 16 more canyons full of jumps, you know, that you just know you want to get to. So
sometimes we don't even have 2 or 3 minutes to set up a shot. We'll show up, and I just grab the quickest, shortest angle that I can just to get, you know, capture what's happening, because you don't know if somebody's going to crash, go down, land something really cool, or they're just going to move on and leave you behind. So it's kind of a game of go, 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 go for us.
Logistically, the hardest thing about shooting Riot out at Caneville is the access. The riders take off like a herd of cats across the desert, and my crew has to chase them down, find the jumps, get the right angles, climb up on top of cliffs, billy goat through rocks, and then get all the action, pack it up, and haul ass to the next location.
Like at Caneville, there's a serious heads-up policy. Like you gotta be on your toes. Because like you think you can just go climbing over ridges, but like if you look around here, there's some ridges that have like 1,000-foot cliffs off the backside of them, it looks like. So like you really gotta pay attention.
You don't really see a lot of bushes around, so you can pretty much make lines anywhere. Like there's just random peaks and hills and rolling jumps, and pretty much anything that you could think of or spot out, there's a lip and a landing for it. So you just gotta kind of sack up and go for some stuff. But I mean, any type of rider could have fun out here. You can find tons of little jumps, big jumps, whatever you want to hit.
That last session was pretty good. First, we were all bummed because we just had to go back and hit jumps we've already hit. And that's never a plus when you got so many other jumps to hit. But Miller ended up finding a couple more that ended up being pretty fun. And sessioned those for a while, and I think it was a good way to end out the trip.
Best friends Dustin Miller and Mike Mason end the day in a technical duel, and now everything is in the hands of the riders. Votes are cast, scores are tallied, and they themselves will choose the overall champion for Riot Take 2.
Okay, Miles. Alright, you did time first. Everybody except for.
The overall results for Riot 2. 9th place, Larry Lanecog with 5 points. 8th place, Todd Potter. 7th place, Matt Ribot with 11 points. 11 points. Then comes Brian Foster, you got 15 points. Then we have a tie for 4th place, which is broken by the higher scores, which means in 5th place is Drake McElroy. 4th place, Mike Metzger. In 3rd place for Riot 2, Miles Richmond. In 2nd place for Riot 2, the score of 24 points and only 1 point out of 1st place. Mike Mason, Dustin Miller wins Riot 2. Yeah, Dustin!
Hey, Bob should have won. 25
Yeah.
points.
No, what the hell?
Ah, I got to.
You feel good now? Have we dragged you around all those places?
I feel all right.
I feel all right.
I feel all right.
Congratulations to Dustin Miller, the overall winner of the 2nd annual FMX Riot. Thanks for coming, and have a safe drive home.
Winning the whole thing, I mean, just like anything that's judged by your peers, like, it's pretty much an honor.
My bike was like still on the pipe when I left.
Okay, parting words.
This is the sweetest my stash has been all year, and I'm thinking about keeping it.
How much of it's gonna wash out?
Look at yours. Yeah, no kidding.
Sometimes it's comedy because they forget they have the mic on, but I'm listening all the time. And you can hear some funny stuff.
Tell the helicopter to watch me go back to my trailer and put my bike on my stand and drink a beer.
We went to the store and I got enough stuff that I could survive on for, you know, like a week or so. And I didn't really know about the catering. And then I heard there was gonna be catering like halfway out and I'm like, all right, that'll be cool, you know? I don't know who brought these guys, but it's like the worst food.
Runny eggs, undercooked meat, and I don't know, rotten belly.
The same stuff over and over, and you come out and Hootie and the Blowfish is blaring at 10 in the morning.
You're a cooking fool, huh?
I'm cooking, but I ain't no fool, homie.
Is it time for cold ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I already had one at lunch.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I snuck it in a red cup.
Bastard! Oh, another high five. We got an entire day behind the wheel to make it back. I'm really not looking forward to it. So it'll be nice to like change the oil in my hair, marinate in the hot tub or something. I can go for that. See ya.